What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Soul. We're gonna do a beat cook up today. You already know what it is, boy. Me cooking up beats all day, all night, bro. Be in, stay tuned. I'm gonna be coming back and forth, smoking tree, drinking lean. You already know. I'm gonna throw up FL Studio. I'm gonna hook up my mic, or hook up my keys. Got the Rellos on deck. Got the Russ on deck. Come at me. Tragic. Get in my groove. Alright, y'all. I'm diving in. Got the keys going on down here. Got it on pop. Still want your boy up in that shot. Arcade. It's up in 13 minutes. Let's get some follows, guys. No matter when you're viewing this live, whatnot, let me a follow. Help me out. I'm trying to reach 50. I'm trying to get affiliate. Help me out. Watch me. Come chat with me. I'm on every day, all day. It's your boy. Jump into the musical revolution. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to start a business here, so nothing more that can help me than y'all. Being sincere. I like music right now more than a drink. I'm talking about some vodka, not water. But yeah, we got. I'm pretty sure I'm Melody.
This is Captain Plugins 5, and today I'm going to be showing you guys why you should get these plugins and how they can be beneficial to you.
Now today we are looking at Captain Plugins, these guys here.
Now I'm a big fan of Captain Plugins.
I be making beats, whoa, whoa, hey, using Captain beats, yeah, okay.
This piece of software alone is what really helped me start making music finally.
So let's talk about the Captain plugins. When they first got released, I bought a copy of it.
I can't wait to show you how powerful this thing is. That's nuts.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
But what I think is really nice is that you can also record your own rhythms.
And Captain Chords is a seriously powerful tool.
All the people who are taking stock sounds from FL Studio, rolling presets from the 90s, and uncleared old school samples from the 70s, and throwing them all together in a zip file and putting them online and charging a fee for them, they're not too happy with me. But really, we shouldn't care about them or the people who defend them. And I want to offer some real value here. So let's talk sound design. Let's talk creating actual original drum sounds from scratch, from thin air, that you can either use in your beats to help develop your own custom sound as a producer, or that you can design for a legal and original sounding drum kit that you can feel good about selling to the producer community. Or both, I guess. I use my drum kits a lot. Let's be honest, you're not going to find these videos anywhere else. Why? Because I make them. So it would really help me out if you subscribe. If you've already subscribed, what also really helps is if you like the video and leave a comment. It's hard in the era of clickbait videos on YouTube and negativity in the producer community, and I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. So before I start here, I've been working on this drum kit for the past 4 years. I've been talking about it. It's the Damn That Hurt Volume 3 kit. It's full of sounds. I mean, this kit itself has over 400 sounds. And with all the bonuses, it's well over 500, I'm pretty sure. In addition to the one-shots, like all these snares, a whole lot of snares, lots of kicks as well. There are also drum and percussion loops, those hi-hat loops that add a real organic feel, a live feel to your beats. Drum loops, melodic loops, and one-shots. These are sample chops, but these are original samples that me and Dreamlife created. And as part of the kit, I'm just giving you the first 2 drum kits I ever released, Damn That Hurt, Volume 1 and 2, as part of the kit, plus a whole bunch of bonus loops. So the link to get that is below. I appreciate your support. Let's get into sound design. So I already spent some time breaking down some of these fraudulent drum kits, whatever you want to call them. The drum kits that are just full of stolen sounds that aren't even reworked or oftentimes renamed. In the last video, I created a drum kit that I didn't think sounded very good, but I did it from scratch in like 20 seconds. So I want to talk a little bit more about sound design at a more complex level. So synthesis is not something I talked about before. I want to talk about synthesizing drum sounds as well as recording samples that are original. So I actually recorded some more samples here on my mic of me tapping the windscreen. I have an eyeball windscreen, and making other sounds. This is me tapping on the windscreen. I don't know what that is. I think that's me punching myself. So I actually don't like any of these sounds. I kind of like this one. And I'm gonna remove this tail at the end here. Kind of add a volume curve to the end to reduce the decay. Yeah, so I have this sound here. I want to make it sound better, make it really sound like an actual kit. So what I'm gonna do is, and this is something that probably a lot of FL users do, I'm gonna add some soft clipper to it. And I actually have an effects chain here. And what I'm using is a transient plugin that boosts the EQ, and this one is adding more mid-range punch. I'm also using a soft clipper, and then I'm also using a limiter on top of it. So this is what it sounds like with the effects. So this is very different now. This is actually sounds a lot better actually. This sounds like a kick I might actually use. That was simple. I think I got lucky here. Let's talk about ways to, maybe you don't have a mic. So there are ways for you to create drum sounds from scratch that don't require a microphone, that don't require you punching yourself in the chest. I think a lot of people miss the point of my last couple of videos talking about why reselling unoriginal stolen sounds from other kits could be a problem. So there's this company called Roland, right? They've been around for a long freaking time. They actually created the 808. The 808 refers to a very specific set of sounds because the 808 was a drum machine that Roland created and owned the rights to, of course. They're not a small company. They're still active today. You can download, they have a VST service out there called Roland Cloud. It's really good. You probably don't want trouble with a company like Roland. They put out a sound module, which is for people who weren't producing in the 90s or the early 2000s. There were these things called rack modules that were full of sounds that basically were like physical VSTs. Roland created many of them. This is one of them called the Sound Expansion. I guarantee you're going to recognize this. I've seen it repackaged as the Zay-Ah. I'm assuming because Zaytoven has used it, he probably has the original sound module in the studio. Everyone knows it from that Nelly song. Will you get in trouble for using that sound because Roland owns it? No, absolutely not. That sound is made by Roland for producers to use in new compositions. However, what they don't want you doing is reselling that sound. The same way I will license a beat to an artist and allow them to sell that song on Apple Music, but won't let them resell the beat as though they created it. That's the same thing that these companies that create sounds write their end user license agreements. So again, let me just remind you, this is not a game to be playing where you're taking sounds from some of these big companies and then reselling them and putting your name on them. So let's kick off this whole sound design thing with a guy whose name I brought up a couple times, Decap. A lot of people say there are no original drum kits anymore. Everyone's using recycled sounds. Yeah, right. Decap's one of the people who definitely are not doing that, and he's actually released some sound design videos. All links to these videos are going to be in the description. I'm just going to show you a clip from this one. This is him explaining how to create 808 sub bass from scratch using FL Studio 20.
So this is a sine wave, just a very basic sine wave. If I turn this up, you can see it starts, you get a square wave here, and a triangle here. So see what it does.
So he's showing you how to create sub bass, and sub bass is based on this waveform, which is a sine wave. And pretty much every synth that you download, whether it's native to your DAW, whether it's something like Massive or Vanguard or what else, Serum, you're gonna have that sine wave pattern. Let's talk about creating kicks. now you're gonna see that the sine wave pattern comes up a lot, because that's actually what kick sounds are based on. So this is from Zen World. This is another video that's available on YouTube that I think some of these people who are creating these stolen drum kits should watch.
An analog beat sign and start from there. Here, let's see, let's get it to where we want it, maybe -1. And then we're gonna add sort of like this nice click to it. Let's do that. Alt shift click.
So it's a long video. I have Serum now because it comes with Acid 10. And I created a really basic kick here. When I start going into the higher registers, it starts sounding more like a tom. If you tweaked it some more, you could create some original toms out of, I think, this very same sine wave. So let's figure out what else there is. Here's a guy whose videos you're probably familiar with, or you should be, Simon Servita. So in this video, in this section, I'm going to show you he's creating snares from scratch. And I believe he's also using Serum, and he's also using, I think, a sine wave with added noise.
Now let's go over my favorite thing to make, which are snares. Now a snare is a combination of a sine wave and white noise. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the LFO, we're going to shape it to a snare, and we're going to move that onto the level parameter. We're going to do the exact same thing for the white noise. Let's choose some white noise as well. That sounds fine.
So that's already sounding like a snare. So let's add some noise here. Sounding like a snare already. Actually, when I take away the sine wave, it sounds like a hi-hat, doesn't it? Yep. Listen to these are hi-hats. If I change the attack, now it sounds like a shaker. Map the pitch to the keyboard as well. You can make some really interesting sounds just by experimenting with a couple clicks. I'm the last person that is qualified to teach you how to synthesize sounds and program your synths. That's not me. I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm not going to lie and act like I do. But I'll tell you that it's fun. And if you want to get into sound design, there are plenty of resources out there that show you how to do this at a higher level than I can. In addition to creating stuff out of synthesis, there are actual VSTs out there specifically for designing drum sounds. So like, for example, there's Kick 2 from Sonic Academy. Reed Steffen's channel shows you how to use that.
And let's bring down the beginning of this. Feels kind of like high up there. As you could hear, as you move these little pivot points around, you can make a pretty big change in the way the sub sounds.
And for those of you who are a little more classic and nerdy, and actually someone commented in my last video that they had the Novation Bass Station 2 and they were performing a lot of sound design with that. And some people prefer this. The cool thing about analog gear like this is that you create it, you know, in the outboard gear, and then you record it into your computer, and recording something from outboard analog into your computer often adds a cool texture. So just the process of recording something adds a unique feel to it. So this is more sub bass creation using sine waves, but you don't need VSTs to do it if you prefer analog gear. I mean, this is how synthesis started. It didn't